This isn't gonna be good.
No.
And a rope that goes up.
Well then.
Look.
Okay, so I guess what we're gonna do is we're gonna meet you. You're at the
It was August 2025 when Katie, creator of Katie Roams, a channel focused on solo camping, hiking, and raw outdoor exploration, headed into the woods for what she expected to be another calm night alone. She found a still, quiet lake surrounded by tall pines, soft moss underfoot, and for hours, everything felt normal until the silence began to shift.
Let's get in, shall we? Got my new fancy sit mat with me. Okay, I'm gonna go in. I'm really hoping it's not cold because I'm not very good with cold water, but let's dip. That's very cold. That's cold. It's flipping freezing, that is, but it's kind of nice at the same time. I've had my little dip, but I do need to get a move on because, well, it's kind of late. It's around 7 p.m. right now and I'm chilly as well. So I need to get dressed. I need to go for a wander. I need to find a spot first of all to actually camp. I was going to try and camp around the lake, but there are no flat spots that aren't boggy. There's a lot of boggy bits and the mozzies are a bit of a problem. So I'm going to go ahead and get dressed. I'm going to go on a wander and we're gonna find a spot. Oh, it's cold, let's go.
Feeling strangely alert and heavy, Katie eased into her evening the same way she always did, calm, organized, and fully in her element. After a cold swim, she noticed the sun was dropping fast. She chose not to camp near the water. Mosquitoes swarmed the muddy shoreline. Instead, she carried her gear deeper into the forest and found a soft, mossy patch where she set up her tent.
First step is I'm gonna set up a little drying line over there. I'll show you in a second. Just so that I can hang up my towel and my swimming costume so that they can dry. It's not due to rain overnight, so should be dry in the morning. Lovely. Well, that is my tent fully set up. I'm gonna go ahead and set my sleeping system up so I've got somewhere warm to go because my hands are still a little bit cold. And then I've decided there's a lot of branches around me, so I'm gonna make myself a little chair and then we can cook some dinner. That's my plan. Let's go.
She laid out her sleep system, arranged her gear, and began building a small bushcraft chair from fallen branches. The steady rhythm of her saw filled the woods until something unfamiliar drifted in, a faint scent of cigarette smoke, followed by distant male voices.
I can hear and smell a group of men. I can smell their cigarettes and I can hear them as well. So I'm just gonna leave my camera on record for like the foreseeable future until they leave. I would be quite concerned if they came any closer. So I'm just gonna leave my camera on in case, because if they come up, my camera's on, I'll be on the phone with my mum or something. I'll call my mum and just, fingers crossed they don't come. But I don't really, well, I'm out here alone and building a chair. They might be harmless, but it's better safe than sorry. So if you ever are in a situation like this, put your camera on record and call someone. It's the best thing you can do. Oh, and maybe have a knife on hand. No, I'm joking about that last bit. Or am I?
Katie looked toward the sound but saw nothing. Her demeanor changed. She quietly turned on her camera, not for content, but for reassurance. The voices grew more distinct laughter, mixed with a low bass line from someone's speaker. She whispered that any woman camping alone would feel uneasy hearing a group of men nearby after dark.
I don't know if you can hear that, but the scary men are now playing music. and smoking cigarettes. Okay, if you're playing music on a speaker, loud, in a forest, which is very peaceful, and chain smoking cigarettes, you're not good vibes. If you can hear that, I'm sorry, because it's also ruining my time. I have no idea what genre that is. I thought I'd got rid of chavs when I left England, but apparently not. Sorry guys. Okay, made an indent. Now that I've got my chair finished, I do believe it's time for some dinner. An update on the men. They are staying over there, probably about 50 meters away from me. They came over to say hello. They said they saw a light, which is this light. And they said hello, invited me for beers and for dinner. I said no thank you. Yeah, hopefully all is good. I'm sure everything will be fine. First of all, I don't drink. So, I just said, sorry I don't drink, or, and I've had dinner already, which I haven't. I'm just making my dinner now.
As she kept working, the group's music grew louder, echoing through the trees. Eventually, when they noticed her camp light, they called out friendly, casual, offering drinks and food. Katie declined, pretending she'd already eaten, but the peaceful mood she'd created was gone. Later, after darkness settled, she cooked a simple meal of soup and dried bread, laughing quietly after realizing she'd forgotten her spoon. She tried to stay relaxed, but the group's music kept blaring. Near midnight, she reached her limit. She packed up her tent, gathered all her gear, and hiked back toward her car. By 12:30 a.m., she finally sat inside tired, frustrated, but safe. She admitted her annoyance, yet felt relieved.
Well, I am back at the car. It is around 12:30, pushing on 1 a.m. right now. I'm really disappointed that I had to leave, but safety-wise, I'm very glad that I made the decision to leave, because it is the reality of being a solo traveller or just being a solo camper and things like that. Things do go wrong and there's no support system out there. So it is okay to leave if you don't feel safe. If the energy isn't right, just leave. It's not hard. Just pack up and go. I walked straight past them. I did not acknowledge them. I was like, head down, and off I went.
Sometimes, she said, choosing to leave is the smartest move. Viewers later praised her instincts. Many women shared similar stories, packing up in the middle of the night when something just felt off. In solo camping, intuition isn't fear, it's survival. Was it only the noise that pushed her to leave, or something deeper she sensed before anyone appeared? Sometimes the silence after you walk away speaks louder than the sounds that forced you to go. On November 8, 2025, the action-adventure twins, two brothers, famous for pushing themselves into America's most dangerous cave systems, set out to explore a spot locals call the Mailbox. Their channel revolves around squeezing through the tightest passages on the map, balancing thrill and panic in every descent. But this cave lived up to its name, a hole so narrow, so deep, it felt like dropping straight into the underworld.
Oh no. Dude, I messed up. Yeah, dude, don't go in head first. Oh, dude, there's a huge freaking spider up there. Yeah. I can do anything but the spiders. Oh, no. Dude, they're everywhere, man. Dude, the floor looks like it's made of wood over here. I swear. It's like tree roots. Oh! Dude, that's slick. Who put this rope here? Well, there's a rope that goes up. We're supposed to climb that. Really? Yeah. That's a Walmart rope.
I'm not even sure what it's tied.
This is crazy.
I know.
This one's really hard to climb.
The moment they entered, regret followed. The rock walls closed in fast. Every move was slow, controlled, almost forced. Then the spiders appeared, big, silent, clinging to the stone as if watching from the shadows. They kept heading downward, their voices bouncing off slick rock as the tunnel steepened and grew more treacherous. Their only anchor was a single rope, thin, worn, jokingly called a Walmart rope, tied loosely to a tree root above. It was the kind of setup that reminds you how fragile confidence can be underground. The climb funneled into an even tighter crawl. To fit, they had to take off their helmets, breathing heavily as they shimmied inch by inch deeper into the stone. At one point, one brother nearly got wedged in place, his helmet catching on rock before he finally slipped through.
Oh yeah, it's going up good actually. Seems to have a rope down there. Dude, it just keeps going. It was tied to a root. A root? Yeah. What? So all these things we saw are roots. Yeah. That's why they look like roots. Whoa, there's actually a fat rope that goes down. Rope, huh? Big old fat one. I'm not gonna lie, dude, I don't know how we got here. We'll figure it out. I don't know where my backpack is. That's just off in the middle of the cave. Yeah. That rope goes deep. Oh! Dude, that goes 60 foot. It's another set of ropes. Oh, you gotta have some sure footing. Guess we're going down this one with the knots. Wow, it just keeps dropping. I think that's the bottom, about 20 foot down. Well, I'm looking all right. This is bad. Yeah, why did the rope have to stop halfway down? I know, right? Oh, it's getting my chest. Oh, this isn't gonna be good. No. I think I'm gonna be hanging from my helmet. You might not be able to get back up. I think I'm gonna be hanging from my helmet, dude. Oh. Well, it fit. Holy crap, if it didn't, I would have been hanging from my helmet. No. It drops like another 20, 30 feet. Holy crap. Okay, I'm getting off on this level. Okay. Huh. I found a bucket. Oh. Dude, there's a bunch of clay sculptures in here. Yeah, there's military boxes. And a rope that goes up. What the heck? We got some good artwork in here. We got a giant beetle that's powered by a battery over here. See that? That's a nice cobra and hot dog. What? A cobra and hot dog. Oh, the cobra, yeah. I took a picture of the cobra. What the heck? This is weird. I know. It's like a shrine. I know. And then a classic rope that goes up to who knows where. Wow. Oh, that's creepy. There's like a little figurine up there just staring down at us. Ledger. Old ledger was destroyed. 2024 they started this one. Alright, it's just a bunch of people who signed this. Hey, I'm from Japan. OMG, this hole. Look, we got this random guy a shout out here. My name is Mike Ecstasy. Welcome to Hellhole at 808 MXTC. I produce and make music. We got somebody named Vitali Gnarly Noah. What is this guy saying? They're spreading healing frequencies out to the world. That's Mike Ecstasy. Dude, you're all the same guy. Get out of here, Mike.
Below the choke point, the cave opened into a wider chamber. Their light swept across shapes scattered around the room. Clay sculptures of a beetle, a snake, and a small human-like figure staring back from the shadows. They called the space a shrine. The air felt unnervingly still. On one wall, a notebook held the signatures of previous explorers, names etched like the record of those who made it out. At the far end, a Buddha statue rested quietly, both haunting and strangely calming. Before climbing out, they left a spare headlamp on a ledge. Whether as a gift or a warning wasn't clear. Then, they began the long crawl back through the same suffocating tunnels, scraping their bodies against the stone until they finally reached daylight again. Their laughter at the exit wasn't casual. It was the kind that comes only after being swallowed by darkness for too long. Viewers joked about the spiders and the ridiculous tightness of the cave, but most agreed the real terror wasn't physical, it was psychological. Claustrophobia doesn't just come from the stone around you, it starts inside your mind and waits for the moment you realize it. The brothers left a light behind for whoever enters after them. But when that light eventually dies, what kind of person will follow it into the dark? It was early November along the quiet stretch of the Allegheny River in Pennsylvania when Sam, the creator of the Northwest Wind, a channel built around stealth camping, fishing, and outdoor exploration, arrived to spend the night on a small piece of riverside land he was thinking about purchasing. His plan was simple: sleep in his truck, make dinner, and decide whether the place felt like home. But as daylight slipped away, the stillness along the river began to feel strangely heavy. As evening took hold, Sam set up a modest camp beside his truck. He cooked dinner in an air fryer powered by his portable generator, the gentle hum blending with the soft rush of the river below. He ate quietly, talking to the camera about what he liked and didn't like: the steep bank, the muddy slope, the narrow patch of flat ground. By the time darkness settled, he had made up his mind. The spot was peaceful, yet something about it didn't sit right. Later, as he was getting ready to sleep, the calm broke apart. A sudden, sharp sound rang through the woods, a scream, distant but unmistakably human.
There's a really up noise coming from the woods right now. It sounds like a woman screaming. I was sitting in my front seat with the heated seat on, warming up. It's been dark for a long time now, and it sounds like a woman screaming bloody murder. Listen. Literally, I'm freaking out right now. I don't know what the hell that was, but that has me absolutely terrified. I'm not lying. Literally, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know what that was. It literally sounded... Hang on, let me get... I feel like I'm being watched right now. This isn't even funny. I was on the phone. Okay, let me get in here and I'm going to lock these doors. And It sounded like somebody was screaming bloody murder. It sounded like a human. It sounded like a woman was being tortured or beaten. I was on the phone with Jessica and I kept hearing it, and I opened my door and it got more severe, like it was more blood curdling. And I literally told her, as I'm picking up the camera to start recording, I said, let me call you right back. And I opened the door and it was really loud and it sounded really close. And now it just stopped. As soon as I got out there and started filming, I had my flashlight. As soon as I started talking, it stopped. Shh. Hello? Are you okay? Are you okay? Hello? Something's right over there. Hello? We're getting out of here. I'm getting out of here. I don't like the feeling that I have. I don't like that feeling at all, so we're gonna go.
It sliced through the night with a raw, chilling intensity that made his heart jump. He froze, listening. The scream came again, louder this time, carrying clear notes of pain and desperation. Startled and unsure, Sam scrambled into his truck and locked the doors. The sound had seemed incredibly close. He described it as the scream of a woman in distress, something impossible to ignore. Sitting in the dark, he realized the forest had gone dead silent, as if everything was holding still. When he called out to see if anyone needed help, no voice answered. Shaken, he decided it was time to go.
I'm telling you, it sounded like an adult woman, an older woman, screaming bloody murder, blood curdling, like severe pain, or like they were dying. That's the way I felt. I heard noise through my windows being shut on the truck. I heard noises, and it was like intermittent, every 10 to 15 seconds, like a 2 or 3 seconds. Oh, and I was like, thought I was hearing things, and I thought maybe it's some geese or birds or something. The river's right there, but it became more and more unsettling as I was on the phone with Jessica, to where I literally said, let me call you right back, and I hung up the phone without hearing her say anything, and I grabbed my camera, and I opened my door, start talking, and I hear the last one or two as I'm about to open my door. I don't know if it was recording yet at that point. I haven't gone back to look yet. And when I get out and start talking, it stopped. I've been in the woods 1,000 nights, and I've never heard a sound like that. In my mind, that was 100% a woman screaming. I can't get the thought out of my head, honestly. It's scaring me right now. Hearing those noises in my head again, it's scaring me. Because in my mind, I'm 100% confident that it was a woman screaming. I honestly feel like I need to call the state police or something and just tell them what I heard.
State Police Franklin, PCO Griffin.
Yeah, hi. I'm out in... I was out camping, and I heard, I believe it was a woman screaming in great distress.
So where are you, Sam?
I drove back
Road. How far did you travel?
probably a mile and maybe a little more.
Okay, and then you heard yelling coming from the Allegheny Rivers there. Do you think she was somebody along the riverbank?
I don't know. It sounded up, and I was on the phone with my wife with the window.
But even after leaving the property, the noise replayed in his mind. It didn't resemble any animal. It didn't sound like anything familiar. Eventually, he pulled over, dialed 911, and reported what he had heard. Minutes later, police arrived, their flashing lights cutting across the trees as they searched the nearby cabin and the wooded area around it.
I'm just gonna stay here with my light. Ready to go. I'm checking out this cabin, and it's making me extremely nervous. This is the most thing I've ever experienced while filming a video. I'm shaking right now. It's cold, but I'm sweating and I'm shaking. All right, they've got their things drawn in there, checking doors and windows and stuff. Let me turn this off. Okay. You want me to wait, or what should I do? Okay, well, I'm gonna. Okay, well, be safe, and I wouldn't feel right if I didn't call, so whether it's nothing or something, be safe, and I just, thanks, brother, have a good night, be safe. All right, well, they said they saw another house through the woods, and they're gonna go talk to them, so, all right, okay, all right, let's get out of here.
Sam watched from a distance while officers moved through the property. They didn't say much before heading off to check another location, leaving him to process how the night had changed. What started as a simple camping test had turned into something far stranger and far heavier than he expected. Viewers later argued over what he heard. Some said a red fox or a bobcat. Others insisted it was a woman or something unexplainable. Most agreed on one thing: calling for help was the right choice. Was it an actual cry for help, an animal's call, or something that never wanted to be found? Whatever it was, Sam left that night and never went back. On September 27th, a channel known for calm solo overnighters and simple woodland meals returned to a small forest not far from his home in northeast England. He hadn't stepped foot in this place since the lockdown years, but as the fog thickened and evening rain threaded through the branches, something about the woods felt different, almost as if they were waiting for him to notice. Josh reached the forest just after finishing work, the sky already dimming, mist curling through the trees. As he moved deeper along the trail, he reminded himself how often he used to wander here before he suddenly stopped coming. Even with familiar ground beneath him, the whole place carried a strange weight he couldn't quite explain. And then he saw something ahead.
You guys gonna think I planned this? I didn't. I think Halloween's coming up, isn't it? Okay. This is a bit weird. Well then. I wasn't expecting that, to be honest, guys. I was not expecting that. It looks like some kids have put this bed sheet over a tree stump. I don't know why I'm putting this back on, but I am. Everyone meet Bob. Say hello to Bob. No, Casper. Casper the ghost. Say hello to Casper the ghost. Right. Funny enough, I was playing the camp at that tree there, which is literally right next to this little ghost here. I might have a little venture around, as it might be a bit of a popular spot, but I haven't got too much time. Let's have a look around. I'm not sure if I want to camp by this.
A white sheet draped over a stump, shaped like a rough figure, stood motionless between the trees. Josh tried to brush it off as a Halloween joke, maybe something kids had left behind, but it still left a knot in his stomach. He continued on, looking for a better spot to camp, though the uneasiness followed him.
I'm just literally sat over there, trimming the wood down, cutting it down how I like it. And I can just hear some mad movement going on in those bushes over there. I can't tell if it's like the rainfall just making quite a commotion, or there's maybe rabbits or deers maybe walking through, or any dog walkers or whatever, I don't know. Bit spooky. It'd be just the rain anyway. I don't know why I let these things play on my mind sometimes. It happens, you know, guys, it happens. Literally, camping out solo is a wonderful thing. Many reasons. But sometimes your mind just plays tricks on you. And you think you can hear like treading through the woods, but can't hear any talking. Can't see any torches. It's just me in here, I assume. But I'm gonna carry on, push through, make a fire, enjoy myself.
Before long, the forest delivered a second warning. While chopping wood, a sharp crack sounded in the brush behind him. He froze, listening as the woods shifted into sudden stillness. Birds that had been chattering moments earlier went silent, leaving only the faint, distant patter of rain. Josh waited, hoping it was just wildlife, but the hush in the air suggested something else entirely, and that quiet didn't last. When his camera cut out, he finally caught movement. Slow, heavy, intentional. Somewhere in the dense growth beside his setup, a dark shape pressed between the branches, close enough for him to know it wasn't the wind, and it wasn't an animal he recognized. That was all he needed. Josh abandoned his tarp, walked back through the fog, and didn't stop until the forest entrance was far behind him. Some viewers believe Josh sensed an actual person watching from the thicket, pointing to the sudden silence and the weight of the movement as signs someone was there. Others think it could have been a large predator. Either way, leaving when he did may have kept him from finding out the hard way. So what really stood in those trees? Someone lurking on purpose, a curious stranger, or something that only moved when the camera didn't? When the forest goes quiet all at once, would you stay long enough to learn the answer? On September 12, 2023, in a quiet parking lot where he planned to sleep for the night, the truck driver behind the channel, Master Truck Driver, recorded something far different from his usual calm, solitary evenings. His content typically shows peaceful nights on the road, simple meals, quiet moments in the cab, and rest after long hauls. But this time, while trying to settle into an ordinary evening inside his parked truck, something outside refused to leave him in peace.
What? What is this? Ryssland. Fuck. loose animals or I don't know.
He said the first disturbance came as he was making dinner, a sudden knock on the window, sharp enough to shatter the silence around him. Grabbing his flashlight, he aimed it toward the glass, expecting someone to be standing just outside. But the light revealed nothing. No shadow, no movement, only empty darkness where the sound had come from. He tried to rationalize it as wind or maybe a bird brushing past, though the explanation felt thin. It was clear the night wasn't going to stay quiet. The tapping returned soon after. As he sat down to eat and watch a video, the knocking came back. Quick, deliberate, impossible to ignore. Each tap chipped away at the calm he was trying to hold on to. Then a rush of air swept across the outside of the truck, a sharp, fast whoosh that made him stop mid-bite. Curiosity pulled him out of the cab to check the parking lot, but the area was empty. No people, no animals, nothing that could explain the sounds. As he circled the truck, the same rushing noise passed close to him again, brief, sudden, and unsettling. That was enough. He returned to the cab, quietly finished his food, and decided to end the night without further investigation. Whatever lingered outside had no intention of revealing itself, and he no longer wanted to know what it was. Some viewers warned that stepping out was a dangerous choice, explaining that thieves sometimes knocked to lure drivers out of their trucks. Others argued the sounds were too focused, too intentional to be anything ordinary. Between safety concerns and the strange nature of the noises, the mystery remains unsolved. If no one was there when he checked, then something else was moving around that truck, something that knew exactly where to knock. The real question is why it stopped, and what might have happened if he hadn't gone back inside. On September 25th, 2025, deep within North Carolina's Pisgah National Forest, Luke from the Outdoor Gear Review headed out for another quiet solo overnight. His channel is known for peaceful outdoor trips, honest gear reviews, and the strange, unexplained moments he often encounters. But after what had happened the night before, an unknown car pulling into his camp, a flashlight sweeping across the darkness, this simple, rainy night camp already carried a heavier edge. Luke opened the evening by revisiting the incident that unsettled him. A car driving up directly in front of his vehicle deep in the woods, stopping without speaking, then speeding off the moment he approached it. Later, someone silently shined a flashlight across his camp. Quick, intentional, and wordless. He had planned to leave, but something made him return. Still, the forest wasn't done, reminding him that something felt off.
This episode picks up about 10 minutes after last week's adventure. I am out here in the Pisgah National Forest, and currently I am backtracking, going back the direction of the campsite that I had last night. The reason for that is interesting. So I'm making my way out of this area. I pulled over at a nice spot to look at the view, and I see storm clouds gathering off in the distance. I had a little bit of service. I checked the radar, the forecast, and today there's a good chance of rain and thunderstorms. Because of that, I have decided to backtrack. I'm going to stay another night in the Pisgah National Forest. As you all can see, rain is beginning to fall now. Awesome.
With storms moving in, he switched plans. Instead of pitching a tent, he chose to sleep inside his 4Runner with only a tarp set up for shelter. It was practical for the weather, but also gave him a sense of control after the previous night's tension. Yet the deeper he went into Pisgah, the more the place revealed hints of its own stories. At the new campsite, the signs were unsettling. Trees hacked unevenly, litter scattered across the ground, and a lingering sense of human presence long after anyone was gone. Nothing paranormal, but enough to add weight to an already uneasy atmosphere, and that feeling only sharpened as daylight faded. While cooking, Luke talked about the brown mountain lights and mentioned the heated argument between a man and woman he had witnessed earlier on the forest road. He also recalled last year's missing person case, a vehicle discovered with no trace of its driver. By morning, after thinking about the scream he'd heard the previous evening and the people who sped away when he approached, he quietly packed up and ended the trip.
And every so often I'll hear it just kind of blowing through the trees. But all in all, it was a good night, nice and quiet. Once I went to bed, I didn't hear anything. I want to say there was maybe like a car or two that went up and down the mountain, but that's about it. When it comes to the drive out of here, we don't have far to go. I want to say it's only a mile or two from the main road. The night before, we stayed 8 or 9 miles up and over these mountains. My friends, this is so much better. The Forerunner is blocking the wind, and I have my heater here. Life is good. Cheers. I wasn't sure that I was going to like this Forerunner as much as I do. Previously, I had a Toyota Tundra, long bed, and a ton of space. But then I decided I really didn't need a vehicle that big. So I got this. It was a good change. In the smaller space, hasn't been a problem. Now, Susie and I can't sleep inside of this thing together. Not unless she's like on top of me or whatever. Vice versa, I don't know. It's early, folks. It's early. Give me a break. But for one person, this works great. I was texting my brother last night. I don't have good data connection out here. I can't surf or anything like that, but I can send text messages. Anyways, I was telling him about the odd experiences that I've had out on this trip in part 1 and in part 2. Just in case you didn't watch part 1. After I set up camp, a vehicle stopped right in front of my campsite and just stayed there long enough for me to like get up to like go see what's going on. And as soon as I approached the vehicle, they sped off. And then later on in the night, someone's shining a flashlight into my camp from the forest. So I walk out on the road and there's 2 people, I don't know, 30 or 40 yards away. I shine my light at them. They shine their light, they start walking towards me. I start walking towards them thinking they needed something or whatever. And as soon as we got close, they just took off running to a campsite that was apparently across from mine. Then, all of the odd stuff that took place yesterday, I don't know, who knows. Some of it I haven't even spoken about. And I might as well tell you, apparently there's a campsite up here on the hill. I can't see it, but yesterday evening I heard the people who were there. It sounded like a younger woman, I would say teenage, maybe 20s. All that I could hear were the F-bombs that she was screaming out. I don't know if she was talking to someone in camp or someone on the phone, but no one's gonna effing tell me who I can effing date. Seriously.
Many viewers said his uneasiness made sense, noting that remote forests often hold more danger from people than animals. Comments about thefts, odd encounters on forest roads, and unpredictable campers suggested his experience wasn't unusual. Isolated places often draw strange behavior, especially near dusk. If the scream he heard wasn't connected to the argument earlier that day, then who else was out there close enough for him to hear, yet hidden enough to stay unseen? And why choose that exact moment to make their presence known? That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.